Hey, Facebook, what's going on? 4 o'clock in the afternoon on this beautiful Monday. How beautiful. I don't even have a jacket on, I got shorts on. Dog is enjoying a little outdoors. We just went for a little run, and you know what? I thought I'd come on here and answer some questions. It's something I do with my coaching clients on pretty much a daily basis. We even do like a scheduled weekly live Q&A, and I figured I'd be a little generous today and answer any questions you got. So I'll tell you what, even if you catch the replay, and even if you don't get an answer live, I'm gonna just invite you to ask me any weight loss, fitness questions you got. Free advice, right? So why should you take, why should I take advice from you? Well, you don't have to, but if you have questions, and if you struggle to ask your friend who may not know what they're doing, or get on Google and get completely lost, or maybe just try and figure out, the answers yourself. Of course you can go that route, but the way I see it, when I have questions, I go to somebody that's been there and done that. So when you come on, if you have any questions, Greg or anybody else that has any questions about weight loss, about fitness, I'd love to answer those for you right now. Legit live, no script, no nothing. I'm pretty confident in what I do. I've been doing it for 25 years. It's been pretty much my lifelong passion. And that's something that, it started back in 95. First personal training client when I was working while I was in school for physical therapy. I worked at a community center, and I was given an opportunity to do personal training, and then I never stopped. Started personal training and went on group fitness, owned a gym for a while. I owned a couple of businesses, all related to fitness, golf fitness. Did that for a while. Worked in group fitness in New York City. And then also when I really just about 3 years ago, I actually sold a gym that I had for 6 years. We did more of that functional stuff, what you see, kind of like an Orange Theory type stuff, but way before that. Ropes and kettlebells and all that good stuff. But anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and just send them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them. And if there's none, I'm just going to share with you a lot of times the questions that I get asked. Especially now, I'm going to gear this more towards the people that I work with, and that's people over 40, busy moms and dads. Pressed for time, one of the biggest questions that comes up is, Mark, I got no time. I just don't have the time in the day. And one of the things that I help, as far as that being a question, we look at how your day is structured. Now, it's not to change your whole life and world around, but it is something that when it comes to finding the time in the day, I have a pretty good knack at doing that. And what I do is take an inventory of how you spend your day, and it may be spending a lot of excess time on the internet, maybe on Facebook, all those things. And really the easiest way kind of to answer that first is to do an inventory, a little checkup on how you spend your time in the day. I'll just recommend from the moment you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed, and then literally just jot it down where you're spending your day. And you may come up, my days are pretty straightforward for the most part, give or take. On different days of the week, I have different things scheduled in, but for the most part, it's a pretty set schedule. So that's a first little answer. But again, you're more than welcome to. This is live, so Greg or Guy or Danielle, if you have any questions, I'm going to give you a little wave on here. I'm going to stay on here for a few minutes, and if there's no questions, I'm going to just answer some questions that I get asked often. One of the big things, scheduling time in the day. And the other thing is, Mark, do I have to go to a gym in order to get in better shape? Do I have to spend an hour? I don't have an hour to work out. It just isn't in my schedule. So the quick answer on that is no, you don't. In fact, the majority of my coaching clients are absolutely crazy busy, running businesses and have families and commutes to work. The last thing I want to do is commute to a gym and have the time. So I structure workouts, and it's proven workouts that I've been doing with coaching clients and personal training clients for years. 20-minute workouts, less. In fact, I have some coaching clients that are doing 15-minute workouts. And you're like, well, how can you get a good workout in? Well, if that's all you have, then you work with what you have. So I'd much rather see somebody get in 4 or 5 workouts a week that are 15 minutes long versus trying to get an hour and a half in the gym and really only make it there one time during the week because the rest of the week gets filled up. So, hey, Joe, welcome on here. So again, all I'm doing is answering your questions. Again, if you don't have any questions, we'll be coming back on. I do this often. Another question that comes up as far as nutrition, meal planning, meal prep. You don't need more recipes. You don't need, different elaborate nutrition plans, if you will. You really honestly don't even need to, and I'm going to throw this out there because it's a bit of a secret of what I do into my coaching. Why it works so well with my clients is because I cut through the BS. You really don't need to count calories. You don't need to count macros. You don't have to get all crazy on that. You do an inventory of what you're eating and take a look at it, whether it's taking pictures of a food or journaling, and I can tell you pretty quickly as far as what you need, what you don't need. And if it's, majority of people come into my world is for weight loss. Okay, we got a question here. Christine, hey, welcome. Danielle, what can I do to raise my metabolism? I've been working out since November 6 to 7 days a week. I eat 70% of my food in veggies, rarely fat, only natural sugars, and not a lot. I drink 3 liters of water. I do cardio and weights. I can't figure out, but I'm also not sweating at all. Okay, so let me just answer the last part of that real quick. Sweating is different for different people. I know people that work their butts off in the gym and their body is able to cool off differently. Now, I'm a sweat hog. I happen to sweat my butt off in the gym, and it's just something, but it doesn't mean that my workouts are better than yours or somebody that doesn't sweat. So that's the first thing. As far as how can you raise your metabolism, here's the thing, and I don't know, you didn't say how old you are, and that's okay, you don't have to. But typically, as far as metabolism goes, it does change over time. And of course, as we age, that tends to slow down a lot of people. But I can say the biggest differentiator in a nutshell, and I can go into this in a whole kind of training session, and I teach my coaching clients all about it. But ultimately, the difference with keeping your metabolism high is allowing your body to be working at a high capacity throughout the day. Now you're like, well, what if I have a desk job? Well, if you build muscle on your body and maintain the muscle that you have, muscle requires a lot of energy. It requires more energy than fat does on your body. So when you have more muscle on your body, that's why you see, if you ever talk or even find out, if you can even do a little research on like NFL players, football, and I'm not talking about the really big overweight ones, I'm talking about the really athletic, fit, muscular ones, and they have to consume so many calories just to maintain the muscle on their body. Even I knew bodybuilders, and I'm talking extreme to give you kind of a visual on this. They have to eat so many calories because it just helps them maintain what their muscles need. So back to the average person. So I'm not sure where you're at with your age and so forth, but regardless, when you get older and our muscles we don't work them maybe as hard as we did when we were younger, it starts to go away, kind of like our bones. It's really important that we factor in strength training into our workout plans. It's great for balance, for posture, for keeping the bone integrity, to keeping your muscle integrity, but most importantly for metabolism purposes, when you have good, lean, strong muscles on your body, it asks for more fuel. So that is a way, and your metabolism works on that. If you have more muscle on your body is going to burn and require more fuel. Hence, there goes the metabolism. Of course, then your foods that you eat, that it plays a huge role into it. But I figured that would be something that not typically people think about too often. Dan, what's going on? And Jonathan Christian, hey, welcome. Again, I'm answering questions. I'm just going to stay on here. If you have a health, fitness, weight loss question, by all means, I'm going to, again, preface if you're just jumping on here. So I'm a health fitness coach. I do all of my coaching online. I've been doing coaching and fitness and personal training and gym owning and all those things for the past 25 years. I don't have all the answers, never will claim to have all the answers, but I've worked with thousands and thousands of clients. Now I have the fortunate ability to do this all online. In fact, I have my coaching clients that are working. I don't have to personal train. I can be in a park right now. My dog is enjoying. Check this. He's like, all right, let me know when you're done, Mark. I'm enjoying. We did a little bit of a run on the bike. Let me show you. I'll sit here. So there's my bike there. There's my dog. He's like, okay, Mark. We did about maybe a mile and a half. We didn't go very far. We go like a mile. He's good for like 2 or 3 miles, and it's such a beautiful day. So I figured I'd take advantage of it. And if you got any more questions, feel free. Allison, welcome. 48, cool. Yeah, so same here at 47. I can tell you the complete game. One of the other things I'll tell you, Danielle, is the other things, if you're doing a lot of cardio, you said you do cardio and weights, I would be cautious. One of the things that I find people often do is because they feel they need cardio, they feel they need weights. And while some of that is true, you need to be active, you need to have good heart health, right? That's obvious. That's just for obvious reasons. But I would say is a lot of times what happens when people do weights, and it sounds like you're doing that. You've been working out since 6 or 7 days a week. Two things that's telling me: you may not be getting enough rest. So as far as your body may not be giving enough time to recover. And when you don't recover, your body can't repair. And when you're doing weights, if you're doing them challenging enough, they break down. And that's the key. When your muscles break down, that's the important thing. You break them down and they rebuild. Proper nutrition helps build those muscles, but then also rest. So if you're getting proper rest, you're getting the proper work done on your muscles. And I would say is the other thing with the cardio, back to that real quick and to answer that question, with regards to cardio, people tend to factor that too much in when they're trying to stay strong. They're doing a lot of cardio, and what they're doing is they're wearing out their body, they're overworking the muscles get way over fatigued, and they don't have a chance to grow and get stronger because they're always in like a fatigue mode. So hopefully that makes sense. I try to really, again, these are topics that can go way, way more in depth. How much for an initial interview? I have a 10-minute discovery call that, guess how much it is? It's this much, free. So if you have an interest and you want to learn more about what I offer for coaching, I can certainly provide that for you. I offer a free discovery call. It's called a discovery call. In 10 minutes, what we'll do is discover where you're at currently, what your maybe struggles are, what you're trying to achieve, what obstacles are getting in the way, and then to look to see if my coaching program would be a good fit or not. And it's not the right fit for everybody. It's definitely not a $97 kind of a cheap thing. This is something I've put my livelihood into, and I've put hundreds of thousands of dollars into my education, into my experience. The thing is, you don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to come into my world, but you do get access to what's up here. And that's a lot of experience, a lot of hands-on experience, a lot of face-to-face experience, a lot of online experience in nutrition, in physical therapy. I have a degree in physical therapy as an assistant physical therapist, so I understand injuries real well. I understand biomechanics. I've done all the certifications, credentialing. Again, I don't want to boast about it. Just I've been there and I've done pretty much all of the above. Now I get the luxury of being able to do this from the comfort of my phone. I'm comfortable in front of a camera because I pretty much do it every single day for my coaching clients. And again, if you're interested in that, you can just send me a message after. So there's to answer your question, Danielle, there's discovery call. What we'll do is look at that. If it's a good fit, we'll go on to a secondary call and I'll talk to you all about my program. But I'm not here to sell you, just want to give some value. Robert, Barton, welcome. Allison. Any of you guys have any questions? I'm basically answering your weight loss and fitness questions. I answered a couple of questions that I find come up, but if you have any, I'll be free. I'm going to stay on here for a few more minutes and would be more than willing to answer some questions. I do some Instagram lives. Instagram's a little different. I'm not as comfortable on there because I get people from all over the place. Facebook, at least I have a connection with a good amount of you. I recognize some names on here, even some new people that may be coming into my world. My heart and soul is into helping people get out of the slumps that they're in, particularly men and women over 40. I see too many parents that really, really struggle. Parents, grandparents, but particularly people over 40, busy parents, and it's just a struggle. Like, they've done it all. They've done the gyms. They've had some trainers. They've tried the ketos and the diets and the Weight Watchers, and they bought the equipment for the home. They have the treadmill and the elliptical machine and all the tapes, and they have all of the access. They have the fitness apps. They have the gadgets for their their Fitbits and their Apple Watches and all those great tools. And there's tons and tons of great tools out there. But I would say at the end of the day, if there's no accountability, if there's nobody holding your butt to the fire to get the work done, that's what I do. And then I just eliminate the things you don't need. So pretty much that's what I do. Let's see, Lindsay. Hey, welcome. I don't recognize all the names, so welcome. Nice to meet you. If you like this, send me a message or even hit me with a thumbs up in there. If you'd like seeing this, if you'd like to see, maybe you don't have a question now, but you do, hit me up in a private message. I'd be more than happy to give any advice I can help you if it will help you get out of maybe a rut. Hey, I know it's February, right? We're in the second week of February, so we got 6 weeks into the new year. Maybe you bought that gym membership. Maybe you tried that HCG diet. Maybe you went on Weight Watchers and you're finding yourself right back to where you were last year this time. And I say that not to call anybody out. I say it because I know it's the reality. And, my goal, I've worked with about a little over 300 people last year throughout the year, on and off. And now kind of going forward, I set a bar for myself to reach 1,000 people. The only way I can do that is to get my name out there, to get myself visible. And again, I'm a straight shooter. I'll tell you, if you're not a good fit make sure the dog doesn't go chasing after squirrels. If you're not a good fit for my plan, and it isn't, I'm only looking for serious people over 40 who are looking for real change, who are looking for a sustainable approach and a flexible approach to get their body back, to get the weight off. I say 40 pounds. That's the majority of the time what people are looking at wanting to achieve. Some more, 50, 60. I had a gentleman last year I worked with that lost over 300 pounds. That was not the norm, but that happened. He was starting out at around 600 and lost close to 300 pounds. I work typically with men and women, busy parents that are in that usually 30 to 50 pound range. So again, that's my niche. And I'm a parent. I'm 47. I got 2 teens. It's busy, crazy busy. My wife works full time. She works at Mayo Clinic, and I have the fortunate ability to get this dog out and walked. I have the ability to take my job. I took it online about 3 years ago, started doing that as an online coach. And I'm able to, because I have structure built in, I have a schedule built in to my day, and it helps me. I got to the gym. My daughter and I went to the gym earlier. She wanted to go. I like to work out. I would have been working out outside, actually. But I would say at the end of the day, the questions, back to like the Q&As, I'm sure you got questions. And I'm sure you probably have, for each of your questions, so even if you have one, you probably have 1,000 answers. And you're like, well, why should I answer? Why should I listen to you? Well, you don't have to. Again, I'm just a regular dad. I got a busy schedule. I work with men and women, busy parents. I've been doing it for 25 years. I've kind of been there and done that. And I'd love to help you any way I can. So even if it's just coming on here to answer a question, or it's in real life, if you live locally, I'd be more than happy to meet you. If not, we can get on a quick call and figure out where you're at, what you're struggling with. No strings attached at all. If it doesn't work, 10-minute call, you're done. You can move on. If it's not a right fit, then you can find another direction. So anyway, I think that's it. Q&A. Let's see, lastly with questions. Mondays. I think one of the big things, Mark, I do really well on Monday. And then it seems the later I go in the week, I'm going to answer this one. This is a question that comes up all the time. And even sometimes my coaching clients struggle with this. Is Monday comes up and I do really well. Well, partly because I'm guilty about the weekend. So I'm really focused on being healthy on Monday. I go to the gym. I get my food measured out. I do my meal prep, so forth, so on. But then Wednesday comes around and then Thursday comes around. And the reason why is because you're relying on motivation. You're motivated Monday to do it. And you're relying on that same motivation that's not there Tuesday or Wednesday. And then life gets in the way. Well, you need to have backup plans. You need to have structure. You need to be able to work with it. If you had to go to the gym and you don't have an hour to get off of work, to get in your car, to go to the gym, and you got to pick up your son and daughter from soccer practice, well, you need something that's flexible, like a quick workout you can do on the soccer field, or you can do at the house. Or if you don't have the time in the gym, so you know exactly what to do when you go to the gym. Those are the types of, and then food. Well, Mark, I don't have the time of my day for all these elaborate meal plans. I don't like to cook at all. I hear that all the time. Don't get me wrong. I know it's so much easier to go out. Well, what if you were to go out and know that you knew exactly the portion size that you could have for when you go out, or for when you're home, or for when you cook, or for when you go to a party, or for when you go out of town on vacation or on a business trip? Those are the things that I help people solve. That's it. Those are the things that help people make it so that they can get in the best health of their life. That's really what it's about. And here's the thing, my mission is not just to get people with their weight and get their weight off their body, but it's to truly live the life they want to live. Look, if you're, let's say, 47 like me, I know in 10 years, I want to still be solid at 57. I want my body to be solid. I want to be healthy. God forbid if anything to come up. I want to be healthy enough to take care of it. I have been in Florida, and I'm going to leave on this. I've been in Jacksonville, Florida since 2002. Stop, dog. I don't know what he's doing. I've been in Jacksonville, Florida since 2002. And in that time, I have not had a cold. And I'm going to knock on wood. Let's go here. I have not had a flu. I've not had a cold in 18 years. So there's something to be said about taking care of yourself. And I hear people get sick. And now I had kids, they're 16 and 14. They were in school, runny noses, snotty, all that stuff. And I can tell you, there may be something maybe it's a part of my background and maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you part of it is because I've been leading a healthy lifestyle, pursuing it. And that's all I want for you. So if you're not there, Doug, hey, Trish, I'm out of here. That's it. My dog is getting a little crazy. Let's just show you. It's time to run when he has that little ridge up. He's not a full ridge back. Come here. But you can see him. All right, he's ready to run. I'm going to leave you at that, but I'll come back on. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments and I'll come back and answer them for you. All right, take care and God bless. We'll see you.